Yo, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? We're back again with another exclusive Lake County Unfiltered interview. I'm always telling you guys, I always bring important people in. I always bring superstars in. But tonight, we have a super duper star in the building, a fellow war hawk in the building. Whenever there's a war hawk next to me, I always want to celebrate him proudly. I got the one and only, the mayor of North Chicago, Mr. Leon Rockingham Jr. is in the building right now. What's up, Mayor?
How you doing, Carlos?
Good to see you. I'm trying to make it.
You always make it.
The snow made it tough for us tonight. But
let me just say real quick. You come up a long way since Belvedere.
You see the growth. As long as you've seen the growth from where I was at.
You're on top shelf now.
Absolutely.
Beautiful.
I appreciate it.
I commend you for that.
I appreciate that, Mayor.
Yes, sir.
How's things going, man? You're in the middle of this campaign. You're running it, but you're running the city at the same time.
Well, it's you got to do both. As mayor, you always got to continue to focus on the things that are going on in the office and things that are happening throughout the city of North Chicago. And every 4 years, you got to get into that campaign mode, and we flow with it. So I've been doing good. I got a good committee together. They work hard for me, and to get the word out, for the re-election. So things are well. Things are well.
I've always questioned how difficult it is to peek your head into campaign Leon Rockingham and still be the mayor. How do you switch those roles up? How do you do it?
Well, I think, Carlos, the one thing that I really feel is that, when you're mayor, you're out for the public. You want to make sure that, you're doing everything possible to make sure the city of North Chicago is moving in the right direction.
Sure.
You've got to always be cognizant of your department heads, what's happening. I mean, I get a call yesterday, got a water main break.
Wow.
And then, Mayor, it's a 12-inch line. Now, those are pretty large lines.
Yeah.
And it's out there by Rosalind Franklin University. So, I mean, we've got to, I've got to deal with it. I know staff, and that's one good thing about it. As long as you got good staff around you, things will be taken care of. So,
nice.
But then you go into your campaign mode, and that's now that's a whole nother thing. You've got to be able to now promote yourself. Something I don't usually try to do during the year. I just try to move forward with things going on in our community.
Sure.
Let my residents see what I'm doing.
Sure.
Sure. But when you're in campaign mode, you kind of got to go out and toot your own horn.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And you got stuff. You're doing stuff though. You're doing stuff in the city. The biggest thing that people are always talking about is Sheridan Crossing. Seems to be the project for the city and project for those that are running for mayor for the ideas of what they would do. I learned that you guys secured some money to clean it up. Talk to me a little bit about that a little bit.
Well, Carlos, Sheridan Crossing.
Yeah.
That is something that we've been working on, and I've been working on for the time I've been mayor. When I came in as mayor, the former mayor had already allocated bonds. They secured the land. We still had buildings on it. We had Fansdale, we had Lavin. The frontage property had retail on it. But you had the old Mary's Cleaners that was there. You had the Burger King that was closed down. This is a site that was on Martin Luther King and Sheridan Road, 40-acre site. We have now got to a point now we have done the demolition of all the buildings, but that is a brownfield site. That is a hazardous waste. We've been dealing with the US EPA, the IEPA, and a park called RCRA. And over the years, even though we've became shovel ready, and the IEPA said this is how you've got to build on it. If you cap that site, put a concrete slab on it, you can move forward. We had a developer come in and says, hey, we're ready to move. And we went back to the IEPA and they says, no, you can't do it. Now, this was a letter that they sent to us.
No concrete.
In 2018, and now it's like 2022, and they says, no, you're not going to be able to build on it until you remove all the contaminants that's under that site.
Wow.
That's millions of dollars. You can't just come back and say, okay, we'll clean it up. I mean, I spent many years, I mean, quite a few times going down to Springfield, meeting with the director of IEPA to say, hey, why do you keep moving the goalposts on the city of North Chicago? You know, why is it that this minority community cannot get this project moving forward?
Sure.
You know, it wasn't until I got my state legislators involved, you know, Representative Mayfield, Senator Johnson,
Absolutely.
Congressman Brad Snyder. I says, look, guys, you know, as much as we try to get this project moving, they keep stalling us. Congressman Brad Snyder finally stepped up through a HUD grant or HUD grant of $4 million to start to do remediation on that site.
Nice.
We got $4 million from Congressman Brad Snyder through HUD. We got another $1 million from DECO, that is another agency.
Okay.
So we've got $5 million now. We're going to clean that site up. But, you know, that puts a whole new spin on what we've been doing.
Yeah.
When that site is contaminated, you can't even bring residential on that site. You can put retail, you can put hotels.
Right.
But now with the site getting ready to be cleaned up, now let me just say also, we have to still jump through hoops just to get the permit to clean the site up. You know, we had pretty much 20 different items that we had to go through to make sure that we were able to clean that site up. We are down to one item, in which we have sent now to the Illinois EPA for a final agreement to do the cleanup.
Nice.
Change this whole dynamics. We could put hotels.
Because you had a plan before, but now you have.
Now with the site cleaned up,
crazy stuff.
You can do, you know, you can put retail on the first floor and residential above. You know, you can have a hotel. You know, you can have that Navy museum that we worked on. You know, you know, you don't have to just focus on one thing. You can, you know, bring a lot of different things, you know, to that site now, which you know, I think it's a game changer. You know, you've got Naval Station Great Lakes right there. They graduate every Thursday, anywhere from 800 to 1,000 recruits. Yeah. And you know, you've got you've got son and daughters that are graduating. Their parents are coming in. It's like a college graduation for a lot of people.
Sure, every weekend.
You know, we want to make sure that we meet that obligation to be able to attract our economic development on that site. One of the other things is, you know, as we speak about that, Captain Yargo, who is the captain of the Navy base, we want to try, and we are working with them to reroute the traffic that are coming down Buckley Road that goes to the Navy base. Yeah. We wanted to get through North Chicago. Right. Have them come down Martin Luther King Drive.
Absolutely.
You know, have them come down Sheridan Road.
Absolutely.
That way, you know.
Open the gate up.
Open the gate.
Open the gate on Martin Luther King.
But you know, have them come down Martin Luther King, turn on Bobby Thompson Expressway,
and then
they go right into the.
Absolutely.
But also, what that does, it opens up all the people coming in. Now they see, you know, the retail stores that we have on Martin Luther King Drive. And once we get Sheridan Crossing developed, they'll have that opportunity too. So I mean, sometimes you got to put things in place, you know, now, so that you can see for things in the future.
Absolutely. That's a beautiful thing. I'm a North Chicago guy. You know, I like it. I see it. Everybody that's watching right now, if you could do me a favor and share this video, hit the share button for me, and tag somebody that you know that lives in North Chicago or in the surrounding areas. We got some comments I'll get to in a second. But Mayor, what year were you the first mayor? I just want to make sure I'm right. First year as the mayor, what year was that?
2005.
There you go. I knew I was in high school, my sophomore year.
You what?
Year. I was in high school. I remember the day, and this is how North Chicago I am. I remember when you first became the mayor, because it was connected to Foss Park building the Kaboom Park. I remember those two things being synonymous. I don't know why. I just remember those two. But you've seen a growing North Chicago.
Yes, we have.
Talk to me about some of the things that you've done in the city that have grown it, that are different than what it used to be.
Well, you know, Carlos, you know, I look at a lot of things that have changed from 2005 to now. You know, some of the things that I always look at is, you know, safety, economic development, infrastructure, things that, I guess that's my vision, to make sure that if we keep those three things, especially those three things in front of us, things will continue to move forward. Some of the things that I've seen over, the years, and I'll say, if you're going back to 2005, we had issues as far as safety goes.
Sure.
Broadway was a area that needed to be corrected.
Sure.
There was things going on Broadway that,
Be way.
Yeah, I mean, it was, it was sad because the perception of North Chicago and the image of our community needed to be changed, and I knew that when I came in, and that was some of the things that I wanted to make sure that our police department was aware of. So you can go down Broadway now because of things that we have put in place over the years. We put in cameras down there. That was one of our first things, we did. We put cameras down there. We made sure our police department was focused in areas like that, and also on Hervey Avenue, So as we focus on that, we brought in, cameras. Now, some 20 years later, we not only cameras we have shot spotter in each one of our patrol cars. Anytime gunfire goes off, it registers in their car, and they can respond before someone gets a 911 call. And that shot spotter will focus within almost 5 feet of where that shot went off at. Wow. So now they can also gather evidence that gun shells and things, and they can match it up to guns.
Sure.
So we've taken care, of that. We've got license plate readers, within the community. They're set up in North Chicago.
Nice.
So, the next thing I like to try to do, because we need to make sure that we utilize technology, and if it's in our toolbox, we should take advantage of it.
Yeah.
I've gone to conferences. They're using drones now.
Yeah.
Drones is the number one thing. So
Definitely.
and we need to utilize it here in North Chicago.
Yeah.
You could send a drone up off of a building and it goes straight to where that site is at.
Yeah.
They don't have to stop. They don't have to turn no corners and go down streets.
Sure.
So we're going to be utilizing technology like that.
That's pretty cool.
Our infrastructure that we've done over the years. We did Martin Luther King Drive. We totally did a total reconstruction of Martin Luther King Drive. Audrey Nixon Boulevard.
Absolutely.
Looks beautiful.
Absolutely.
Looks beautiful. Those are projects where we get grant dollars in. We've got, I think it was over $10 million of grant money to do Audrey Nixon Boulevard.
Absolutely.
And, again, we're getting things done, and it's saving taxpayers dollars.
I want to ask you this. It's a controversial topic with the grocery store. Now, everybody has their own opinion about how they ran it or whatever, because everybody knew that North Chicago needed a grocery store. But this was no fault of the city, because some people have said, the city, and I have defended and said, no. I think the city has helped tremendously that tried to make that work. Can you talk to me about what happened, if you can, as much detail as you can?
Again, and that same thing I heard, North Chicago, we need a grocery store. North Chicago, we need a grocery. We need a drugstore.
Yeah.
Trying to get Walgreens in or CVS.
Yeah.
But a gentleman came in that was the son of Pete, who has Pete's Market in Chicago.
Right.
And the son and another developer came in and says, we want to bring a store to North Chicago. Now, Pete's Market does quite well in Chicago.
Yeah.
I mean, and to have his son come in and says, hey, we want to, bring in with the same market, as Pete's. So, city council helped him. They gave partly finances to get him started up. He came in, they call it George's Market. And one of the things that we've always said is you've got to support your store or to the residents. But he did not, do favor well, especially in his meat department.
Yeah.
That was one of his biggest downfalls. So, so at some point he wasn't getting the support from the community, and he closed up.
Yeah.
Not to say I'm not going to continue to try to bring another grocery store into North Chicago, but we got to make sure, again, when we do things like that, you learn from your faults.
Sure,
You
sure,
learn from your faults.
sure,
You know, more than likely, the next person that comes in, we're not going to give them the dollars that we did from the city. You know, you know, Paris Banquet Hall, they lost out because they weren't getting the revenue back there. You know, from their rent. So you know, quite a few people got hurt on that one. But,
Sure.
But again, you can't stop just because you had a stumble. You know, I've learned that over the years that, you know, we must continue to move forward.
Absolutely. I'm going to read Jay Pratcher's comments. A pretty long. I won't do all of it. Crazy Rod Show, thank you for being an unbiased voice for the Lake County Mayor, Leon Rockingham. It's an honor to hear you. I have 3 questions for clarity, just 3. He says, 1, between 2000 and 2020, the Hispanic or Latino population in North Chicago increased from 18% to 36%. Concurrently, the non-Hispanic black population decreased from 35% to 26%. What factors do you believe are contributing to these demographic changes? And how is the city planning to support growing Latino community while ensuring that the long-standing black and white residents are not marginalized? It's a big question.
That's deep.
Yeah, it's big. He had that ready for us.
Wow.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know, I will say you're right. The Latino community has started to come into North Chicago, and you know, they have a right. You know, if they're able to, you know, have good jobs and are able to afford to, you know, come into our community.
Yeah.
You know, that's something that we're going to continue to grow on.
Sure.
You know, Carlos, one of my biggest things is, you know, North Chicago has always been a first-time home, you know, buyers, you know. But we now have to be able to, because as businesses and you grow, people are going to want a larger house.
Sure.
We don't have that.
Yeah.
So you know, people that have a first-time home and start to grow their family, looking for a new house, they move out. They go to Gurnee, Libertyville, wherever they can to, you know, Pleasant Prairie up in Wisconsin. So we've got to now make, you know, decisions on how do we make sure that it's not just a first-time home, because if you have a first-time home buyer, it's going to always be first-time home buyers.
And it grows.
So
it doesn't grow with the family.
It doesn't grow.
They grow away.
So one of the things that I'm looking at is there's Dugdale, over off of Dugdale's at Big Field. Right behind Manchester Knolls.
Yeah.
I wanted, you know, I'm working with developers now to build homes there.
Nice.
But I told them, look, I'm not looking for first-time homes. You know, I mean, I don't want a 1 and 2 bedroom house.
We need some nice sizes.
We get some nice sizes.
Yeah.
And once we start to get that developed, then we've got behind Christian Valley, the wooded area back there.
Yeah.
We can even put even larger homes back up in there.
Right,
you know, I mean, we've got to think not just for now, but what we can do in the future.
Absolutely.
And I think that's, you know, one of the things I looked at, you know, North Chicago can accomplish is to start building homes there. Another thing that's going on is Halsey Village.
Okay.
Halsey Village, if you go there now, it's Navy-owned property, but there's no one over in Halsey Village. Wow. They have, as of January 31st, the last tenants there have been moved out. The Navy is now looking to demolish Halsey. And for those that don't know where Halsey Village is, it's between Green Bay Road, Lewis Avenue, is bordered by Buckley Road.
Right.
If you come down Green Bay Road heading south, right there where the commissary or the exchange is, off to your left, you know, it's that housing.
And that's in the city.
It's right in. Yeah. So and what it is it's if you go by, there's this big green ugly fence that's you know, covering it up.
Yeah.
So I've been working with and I'll say Lake County Chair Sandy Hart, Senator Duckworth, who has been on the Senate floor and called it a zombie village.
Wow.
Which needs to be cleaned up.
So they're selling it, or would it be a sub?
Well, what I'm trying to do is that you know, they're going to do the demolition work. I want to make sure they do the remediation. But while they're doing that, North Chicago needs to come on a parallel line to say, make that surplus property and turn it back over to North Chicago. Bring it back to North Chicago.
Gotcha.
Let us start bringing property tax dollars, because everything that's on the Navy is we don't get any revenue from it.
Right.
So that is what my goal is. They're going to start, from what I'm hearing, start the demolition next year.
Okay.
2026.
Wow.
So as they start that, North Chicago has to be prepared and show a rendering of what we want to see on that site.
Sure.
You know, on Green Bay Road, retail, you know, some retail development.
So everything is kind of connected to everything. Obviously, it's a city, but you got to connect it.
Yeah. But I'm telling you, if we don't take a parallel path now to start that, you know, to start to let the Navy know, and what they call Big Navy, which is in Washington, D.C., know our intentions of what we want to see.
So that's just not a mayor thing. That's a council and the mayor thing.
We have to work together,
Right,
of course.
to make it happen.
Yes,
Right,
but through, you know, I just say, again, I don't usually do it, but, you know, tooting my horn that, you know, these are the things that I've been doing behind the scenes. I've been sitting, you know, I've met with Senator Duckworth on issues. She has came out here, and we have done a tour, and then we came back to the Navy and sat with the Rear Admiral of the Navy. And that's when I brought the issue up. I says, Navy, as you start to do this, North Chicago is going to be looking to acquire that property back.
Nice.
So it's already, you know, I've put that into the works.
Nice.
And, you know, I mean, so those are the things that we have to do. Once we acquire the land, we could start putting more houses up.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do you think, just bringing that up, quick answer, do you think that the city has the capacity right now to manage that and Sheridan Crossing at the same time?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, Sheridan Crossing, you know, again, you've got to understand, we get grant dollars in to do that. Once we do it, then there's got to be a developer come in to start to put the infrastructure and the roads and the things, you know, that I think right now North Chicago has a great opportunity because, you know, again, we have gotten to a point now where people are starting to recognize us. You know, businesses are starting to recognize us, starting to look our way.
Sure.
And that's going to, you know, continue to make us more
attractive.
Attractive. Thank you. Attractive.
Yeah.
So as that goes on and Halsey starts to develop.
Sure.
Oh yeah. You can't think of. You can't be narrow-minded and say, okay, we just got to focus over here and let this sit. No, I mean, if we don't expand, we're landlocked already.
Absolutely.
So we have to make sure that, you know, we prepare ourselves for things that are coming forward.
Gotcha. That makes good sense. His second question.
Oh, that's right. Okay. I got him. Go ahead. What's up?
Let me find it. He's got a big one here. I want to make sure he don't cuss me out. As of the 2010 census, North Chicago has a vacancy rate of 14.5% homes per 100 housing units, one of the highest in the region. What strategies are being implemented to reduce the number of vacant homes and apartments, and how do you plan to attract new residents to occupy these properties? You kind of spoke to a little bit of that, but if you want to attack it a little different.
You know, when did he say, 2010?
He said 2010 census, yeah.
2010, you're right. But if you look back at 2010, North Chicago, again, is through, you know, again, I don't mean it to my heart, but I gotta, you know, but through my leadership, you know, we had abandoned houses, we had boarded up houses.
I remember,
you know, the siding was taken off, all the electrical. We made a concerted effort to go after the banks that had foreclosed on those houses and say, if the bank, you have it, you're responsible for it. You know, come in here, start fixing that house up. Don't let the grass be growing. You know, and through that process, they started coming in and demo those houses. And through, as you say, Renew Communities, JJ Homes, they've been buying up these houses.
Yeah.
And what we are seeing now is more home ownership.
Sure.
in North Chicago,
Which is big.
which is
big.
it's huge. You know,
Raise the value of the.
it has raised the value of all of our homes. The assessed valuation in our houses has gone up. You know, while we continue to keep our property tax flat. Matter of fact, you speak of since I spoke of property taxes, you know, we have good people in North Chicago that are employed. We got Tawanda Joyner, my chief of staff, Greg Jackson. They've been watching the taxes. You're going to see a small decrease in your property taxes this year for the city of North Chicago's portion of it. But that's because, you know, we now have a point now where there's very few homes or properties or lots to even build on in North Chicago. Except for the large ones, like I could say off of Dugdale, and you know, but and the value of the homes continue to go up. Again, you know, people are getting home ownership, and they want to make sure that their property values continue to increase.
Absolutely. Two-part. Well, I guess it's a two-part question. We know one of the driving factors of people moving into the city is a school district, especially those families, those growing families. How, obviously, we know District 187 is a separate municipality from the city. What plans could you see, even now we have a new elected board about to come into April, what plans do you have working closely with that board to get that robust school up, get the elementary schools up? What's your plans and vision for that?
Well, you know, as you said, they're a separate taxing body from the city itself. But we have to work together, you know, as one. You know, as they continue to move the school district forward, because you know, back when I first came into office, you know, state took over.
Yeah, it was rough.
It was rough.
Yeah,
I mean, we had some issues and some problems. But look at it now. You know, you got a new Neal Math and Science, brand new school that was paid for through ADV, a school that competes against any other school in Lake County. With the technology that's in that school for the students to learn from. You know, District 187 is building a new 4-stall school. Again, it'll have air conditioning and you know, but it have all the good things that you know they're looking for in a school with the technology, and that's being built by the Navy or the government. So again, we're able to take advantage of building new resources for our community without putting the tax burden on our taxpayers. And that's important. And as you say, you know, I'll give kudos to Dr. Price. He has done an excellent job.
Shout out to Dr. Price.
So, yeah. So, you know, but, you know, he's been doing an excellent job. And I think as we start to transition into an elected board, you know, I think that, you know, you're going to continue to see that, you know, develop. As a city, we want to work with them in regards to issues that may go on. I know when I go to Washington, D.C., I always kind of reach out to Dr. Price and say, hey, what are some of the things you want me to address when I go down there? So, I mean, those are some of the things that we continue to work with.
And I'm going to let y'all know, put the camera on me for all the elected people that's finna be on there. I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm scared. So y'all better be on point, because I'm gonna make sure y'all on point. All right, y'all better be on point. Because I've been there.
Bring them and sit in the seat.
Yeah, they gotta come. They coming soon.
Come and sit in the seat.
Let me read some more comments. Dante Brooks is in the building. Dante Brooks. He says, along with that, with what Mayor is saying, our Black North Chicago residents decided they didn't want to be here and moved to Gurnee and ATL and Houston, etc. The Hispanic community saw an opportunity and vacancy. He was responding to the question of how was that transition happening. Wajina Briscoe says, these are all great accomplishments, but the residents aren't aware of this. Which leads me kind of to my next question about, you know, my big thing is marketing, getting people to know what you're doing. Because I believe the mayor, even running for a campaign in any city, has the biggest campaign because he or she is the mayor. And obviously using that as a tool, what ways could we market these things better that we have going on?
And again, you know, Carlos, maybe I don't toot my horn enough or express it out to the community enough. You know, we have a city newsletter that, you know, we try to push things out and things that are going on. I know through our city council, we have a lot of ward meetings, you know, through the different wards. And I try to attend and let people know what is going on in the city of North Chicago. Sure. You know, let them know that, you know, we have a lot of good things happening through the community. And, you know, I think that's kind of, you know, what has to be done. I have to make sure that our information coordinator pushes the information and get the information out to the residents and let them know that, you know, these are some of the things that we've been working on.
Absolutely. True Conglomerate, they said they're available to do some work for the city.
I got you.
Alderman Donna Murphy says, don't forget the higher property values are for our community. Don't forget the higher property values are good for our community.
Yes.
And look at all the taxing bodies that are on your property tax bill. The city is not the only government entity taxing you, she says.
You know, I will toot our horn for the city of North Chicago. You know, when you're starting to sell houses at $300,000, $350,000, $400,000 for the city of North Chicago, that's a good thing. That's a good thing because if I can sit anywhere close to where that $400,000 house is, I know my value of my house is going up too. So the more that we can get into our community, the you know, the better it's going to be. So and we keep working on it. And I think that's something that as mayor, we've got to make sure we push forward with that.
Got you. The other thing that I wanted to talk about was Falls Park. Again, separate municipality, different tax base. You know, I don't want to send any shots here because they always say I take shots at them, so I'm not. What do you think as a mayor, just as a North Chicagoan, forget the mayor, you're just a North Chicago guy. What do you see should be happening at Falls Park? I know I put you in a hot seat. I did. What do you think?
I think
if it's cool, it's cool. If it's not,
I think every taxing body in the city of North Chicago is doing a great job.
There we go. I'll take that. I'll take that.
I mean, come on now.
That's tough, but I'll take it.
They just got recognized for their beach.
Okay.
You know, they just
there we go.
They got recognized for their beach. They've got a communication person in there now that is focusing on seniors and taking them, you know, out. I think that, you know, they're trying to focus on youth that they're coming to our community. You know, you've got to give them kudos for that.
Hey,
you know,
just did. That's all. I did. I just set it up for you. That's all.
You know, so yes, I think that
I think they're doing some good things. New athletic director. They got Shaq over there. They're doing some great things. I was just setting it up. You know, I'm just setting it up.
So yeah,
you dunked it. I alley-ooped it.
Yeah.
I'll read some of these comments. Nicole Wood says the best choice for the city of North Chicago. Emily Poole says, can you highlight any key plans or projects you envisioned for the city that did not come to fruition during your tenure? What were the main obstacles of their completion?
Well, I mean, Sheridan Crossing is one that, you know, naturally I look at that as a project that I do want to accomplish and finish, and that's why I'm running for another term here in the community, in the city. I think that is something that you can see that, you know, can get up off the ground.
Sure.
You know, there's other things that I see that you know, that I like to accomplish. As I talk about roads, I don't know if I mentioned that Argonne Drive is the next road project that we're doing. We already received grant dollars. I think we've received $2 million to do the study on that. It's in phase 1. You know, phase 2, it will start to be more of the design phase, and stage 3 is construction. But it takes, you know, I mean, once you even get it into phase 1 to actually construction, it still takes 2 to 3 years.
Wow.
So but if you don't get it into the cycle, it never gets it never moves.
Yeah.
So that is something I see that, you know, I want to see completed or at least get started, you know, during my next term. You know, North Chicago, our water plant. We've got excellent water. We've got to make sure that as we see our vision, moving forward,
Sure.
there's a group called JAWA, which is the Lake County Water Agency. We've got to prepare ourselves. So council has already approved. We're going to do a land swap with Falls Park so that we can put a new water tower up.
Oh, nice.
But what that does for us, it makes sure that our water pressure throughout our city stays constant. You've got that water tower on Green Bay Road that everybody thinks is a water tower. It's not a water tower.
Oh, wow.
It's just a big bladder to help.
I didn't know that.
I didn't either until to learn it.
Yeah.
But we're going to have a freestanding, about above the ground water tower, kind of in that same area.
Nice.
Over there by the golf course.
Nice. Do we sell water?
We sell water to Abbott Laboratories.
Okay.
Abbott Park we sell because they're outside of North Chicago.
Gotcha.
But we also got to prepare ourselves for, like I say, the Lake County water agencies because at some point I think they're going to be coming looking for our water. They've knocked on our door several times. Yeah. They kind of kicked the tires already to see what we were.
That's a huge moneymaker. I've spoke to former mayor of Waukegan about that, about how we could make robust amounts of money by selling water to West.
Out west.
Because they don't have a lot of access to water.
So if we hook up to or connect to JAWA, who sells water out west,
Gotcha.
Because I really think their plan is getting to capacity. And so, if they tie into us, we've got about 14 million gallons that, we could produce to sell water. Wow. We've got to prepare ourselves. So we just did a reconstruction of our water plant. I think it was almost $6 million that we've done. New roof inside with different motors and things. So our plan is ready to supply water wherever we need it.
Nice. And that could help with different projects in the city as you said.
Anything that we sell outside of North Chicago is 1.5 times what our residents pay for it. So we, yes, we will receive money through that.
Gotcha. Got a lot of comments I got to run through really quick here. Patricia Shelley says we definitely need Mr. Smith for mayor. Aren't you guys tired of this mayor? I can't read the rest of that comment. Patricia, you tweaking. But we love your comment. Keep reading. Rita Mayfield says, shout out to Donna King and Vance Wyatt for opening the beach. Absolutely. Greg Rockingham is in the building. He says, it takes time to develop relationships with senators, state representatives, and this is what the mayor has done. Anthony Coleman says, good evening, Mr. Rockingham. How do you feel about your current council? Do you feel you have the right team in place to get the job done? I don't know.
I can work with anyone that, and our city council, we've got a good city council.
Gotcha.
Again, I don't think that, everyone has their own views and ideas. And that's part of being on council. The citizens elect you because that's what they look for your direction. And my council, we work well together.
Absolutely.
Most of the time.
Tamika Wilson is in the building right now. She says, with early voting happening right now in North Chicago City Hall, why should residents vote for you? That's my last question, Tamika. Just all up in my show, girl. And what do you bring to the table that no one else is able to offer? Hold that. That'll be your last one. First Baptist Church in North Chicago is here. They says, as mayor in hindsight, name at least one thing you regret doing and one thing you regret not doing. First Baptist Church in North Chicago. One thing you regret doing or not doing? I don't know. Take it on.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah. What did I regret doing? I think that as mayor, there's a lot of things that you wish you would have moved on quicker. I look back over my tenure. I got a good staff right now that works well together. They've come out of their silos. When one person's got a problem, it's everybody's problem.
Sure.
Sometimes I wish I would have moved quicker on moving department heads. Bringing in new department heads. As far as the city, though, I mean, we've done an excellent job.
Sure.
During my tenure, I just, know that there's a lot of things that we've accomplished that I'm very proud of.
Sure. Emily Poole says, what strategies are you putting in place to attract new needed businesses and create jobs for growing industries like tech and medicine?
Well, she brings that up. I mean, one of my visions is that Rosalind Franklin University has what they call incubators in their at their universities, and that incubator are startup businesses that come in and work. They have a small spot to develop, but once they get large enough, then they want to move out and move their business. We need to make sure that we have a spot for those businesses to come to, so that they don't come out and go somewhere else in Lake County.
Yeah.
So one of the things I've kind of looked at is as we move towards Halsey Village and acquiring that, I would like to get office buildings in there, so that as these incubators start to leave, there's a come right across the street.
Nice.
You can start your business right here in North Chicago.
Absolutely.
But you talk about other things. We have TIF districts in North Chicago. We're bringing in a brand new truck stop on Route 41 that is going to be utilizing their TIF. That's money that they accumulate that goes back into that area. It's a truck stop that's called Compass that we just did a ribbon cutting on. They're going to start breaking ground as soon as the weather gets better. We brought in Jimmy John's. We brought in Dollar Tree. Starbucks,
absolutely. That's a big one.
So I'm very proud of that. We've run awards. It's called the Daniel Burnham Awards, and it's for our comprehensive plan. We've now got a comprehensive plan, and it's kind of a roadmap on how your city should look as you move in the next 5 to 6 to 10 years. So and we've got to utilize that comprehensive plan. We're getting ready to rebrand North Chicago.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
Getting ready to do a rebranding. This logo, which I like to give to you also.
Oh, man. So, that's what I'm talking about. He's the first person to ever bring me something. Nobody never brought me nothing. Thank you, man.
So you can put it on your hoodie.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. But, we're getting ready to rebrand. And rebranding is not just the logo. It's rebranding is... your website, making sure that people are able to access building permits without having to come in. They can do a lot of their work throughout the city without having to come into to City Hall.
Yeah.
And that is something that we're in the process of doing now. So, I mean, again, between the rebranding and different things like that. I think that's what makes North Chicago, a place that we feel good at.
Absolutely.
I think you said something about you heard from other communities why North Chicago is so tight knit.
They do.
And I think that's why. We're a community that as we have built this up and made these changes, North Chicago have come together even more. I built a lot of my how I am doing on the residents of our community.
Sure.
If I can go out and hear them say, North Chicago, Mayor, I see you doing a better job, and I feel good about North Chicago, then I know I'm doing my job.
Absolutely.
And I've heard that. I've heard that throughout.
I can see it. I don't live in North Chicago anymore. I live in Waukegan, unfortunately. I'll be back. I'll be back soon.
Okay, all right.
As soon as I get a house built by Renew, I'm here for you. Okay. No, I see the change. I'm there every day at the high school. I see the vibrant energy that's coming, and to hear the ideas that you're kind of putting out there makes me excited, even more so about what could be and what's going to happen going forward. So I'm excited for that. Last couple of comments. Rita Mayfield, shout out to Rita Mayfield. Y'all give us some hearts and likes.
She has been doing an excellent job with us.
Absolutely. She says, thank you, Mayor, for recognizing the importance of saving the water supply in North Chicago. I did want to ask you about the boards that you sit on that represent North Chicago. Talk to me about that a little bit. A lot of people don't know that, but tell me about it.
And again, don't always toot my horn, but but I'm in a campaign.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, at 5 o'clock, I don't, go home. I'm going, to other places. So I sit on several boards. A couple of them that I'm very proud of. Well, first off, I sit on the Lake County Council of Mayors. It's and I serve as the chairman of that board. The Lake County Council of Mayors are mayors that do all our transportation, a lot of our road projects come through that agency.
Nice.
But because I am chair, I sit on a thing called CMAP, which is the Chicago Metropolitan Area for Planning. The Council of Mayors there, I'm first vice president.
Wow.
And, that is a board that agencies from the federal funding comes into Chicago, and then all those funds get allocated to Chicago and the surrounding communities. So, sitting on those boards give us an opportunity to make sure that we get the dollars into Lake County and then also into North Chicago.
Nice.
The CMAP is a agency that handles RTA, CTA, Metra, PACE. All those agencies are there coming in to get dollars also. So, you're at the forefront of where these dollars are coming from and how they're allocated, not just to North Chicago and to Lake County, but around. I sit on the Lake County stormwater. We're getting ready to do a retention pond on Lewis Avenue.
Okay.
Right across from the District 187 building. That land that sits there that's open.
Sure.
We've got $2.75 million to start to do that project.
Wow.
Grant money.
What is a retention pond?
A retention pond is a place to hold water during a rainstorm, and then it's released slowly so that flooding doesn't exist.
Gotcha.
So the houses up from Greenberry Road to Lewis Avenue, they flood when a storm comes. Because their pipes aren't big enough to hold the water that's coming out.
Gotcha.
So we put this retention pond in. We're going to increase the pipes that go from Green Bay down to this retention pond, and then from a retention pond, we're going to increase the pipe that goes to the creek, Pettibone Creek,
Gotcha.
back behind EMCO.
Gotcha.
But then we're going to send that pipe down Broadway, so now the residents don't flood.
Right.
So that's a plus. We received another $4 million out on 41 where Strawberry is, Strawberry condominium.
Sure.
They flood. So we've got $4 million. We're going to do a retention pond there and then send that water out down east under 41, under the railroad tracks, and it's going to daylight over into the East Skokie Drainage District.
Oh, wow.
So I mean, these are projects.
I never knew any of this existed, by the way.
So these are projects that we've been working on from the city because I sit on the Lake County Stormwater Agency, and then the last one is the IML board. Illinois Municipal League. I was president of that league. I was the first black in 106 years to actually serve as president.
Wow. Some hearts and likes on the screen for that, y'all.
So
it's Black History Month.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely.
But again, I mean, Carlos, I say that because it gives North Chicago recognition. It's not just the fact I serve on the board, but now this agency that has 1,298 municipalities a part of this IML board, that's kind of like a watchdog for the state and making sure that they don't give us any unfunded mandates to our communities. Sure. I had an opportunity to serve as president of that, which I'm very honored and proud of. But again, that gives us, the city of North Chicago, recognition when senators from throughout the state or state representatives here in North Chicago, they know that
it matters. Connected to this and to that.
Yes. So I mean, those are some of
beautiful.
the things that I continue to be a part of. I work very hard at.
You might not. You gotta. This might be your last year being humble, Mayor. You gotta pop your. I'm
but,
on the
but,
block that say pop your stuff. I can't cuss on here. You might gotta pop your stuff a little bit more.
But Carlos,
Pop
let me
it a
just
little
say, over the time that I have been mayor, I mean, we have made a difference in our community. And I have to say, through my leadership, has done that. You don't have to always toot your horn to make a difference.
True.
People see your difference.
True. That's true.
They see you.
They see. Y'all better see now.
You see.
We got a lot going on, man. Coach Coleman here. Just got on. You need to, Coach Coleman, cut it out, man. Shout out to Coach Coleman, man, winningest coach in North Chicago history.
Yes, sir.
We love
I love
him.
that man.
We
love
love
that
him.
man.
Nicole Wood says, thank you, Mayor Rockingham, for being honest and candid. There is no reason to be, put on the show. Meaningful change doesn't come from performing as gestures, just votes. Continue your genuine love and vision for the city. She says, re-elect Mayor Rockingham. Emily Poole. Are there any, we got two more questions, y'all. We got Rico McCoy in the building. He's the current head coach of the basketball team. Shout out to Rico McCoy. I'm not going to be able to get to all y'all comments. I'm very concerned. I do want to read this one. Okay. I'm very concerned for what I've been seeing lately. At this point, it's so hard to get a job as a black man in the city of North Chicago. It's insane unless you have been under somebody for 20 plus years. So with that being said, what's happening with all the jobs and why do all the immigrants have them? It's a tough question, but we're in a tough spot.
I wish I could, give them a call and say, hey, come work for the city of North Chicago. But I will say that, as we continue to try to bring jobs into our community, I mean, that's the best way to do it. You've got to, you got to prove yourself also. And I know it's hard to get that foot in the door, but once you get that foot in, you just got to continue to one foot in front of the other.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah. So.
Last question, man. To your daughter's point, she got on here and said, "Why vote for you again? Why is it so important? What have you done?" That's your camera right there, Mayor. Talk to the people.
Well, let me just say, I have been very honored and humbled to serve as mayor of the city of North Chicago. I felt I've done a lot to make North Chicago better. I think that it's, you've seen through that proven leadership that, I'm able to work with those that are at the state level and at the federal level. I guess I just say, at some point, yes, I may have to leave, but you're going to lose all that opportunities that are out there. I've got a lot of things that I still want to get completed. Our Sheridan crossing. I'd like to get the water tower up. I think Halsey Village is something that North Chicago desperately needs. And through the contacts that I've made and throughout, I think that's going to be able to make that difference. So I'm asking for your support. I'm asking for your vote. Early voting has started in the city of North Chicago at City Hall. It's running from February 10th through the 24th at City Hall and on the 25th at your polling place. So I ask for your support.
Absolutely. How could they contact you? What ways could they reach out to you?
My number is 224-366-7520. That's 224-366-7520. That's our line for our committee. So please give us a call. I'd love to get you on board with our committee and to continue to work for the the citizens for Leon Rockingham.
Absolutely.
Appreciate that.
I appreciate you, man, for coming on, man. It's been a minute. We back.
Always.
Yeah, it's easy. We jump in. It's like swimming.
Carlos, the one thing is, I'm kind of upset with.
Yeah.
It's been 4 years since I've been on here.
That's tough. That's tough.
Come on now.
You're right. I got to do better.
It's been 4 years.
It's on me, ladies and gentlemen. I got to do better as a host. I appreciate you coming down. Shout out to True Conglomerate.
Anytime. Enjoy it.
The True Conglomerate Studios, they're always showing us a good time, putting on a good show. Shout out to them. For anything that you guys need out there, True Conglomerate. time is the place to go. It's the BoyLosCrazy, Lake County Media, Lake County Unfiltered. This is always every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. Next week, we got some crazy shows coming up. It's the BoyLosCrazy. If you knew better, you'd do better. I need 2 sweaters. Y'all be good.